Hey, what's happening, folks? Happy Friday, TGIF. Hopefully, your day is off to a lovely start. You got to enjoy the basketball games last night. Although, you want to know what? As far as like basketball goes yesterday, it wasn't the best group of games we've had by any stretch of the imagination.
No, no, it was not.
No, 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 it was not. And took a big L on DK yesterday. Not gonna lie. Felt really good about fading James Harden for Giannis and LeBron. And Giannis was solid, better than Harden, but LeBron was terrible. So my deepest apologies on that. I did not see the Portland Trailblazers absolutely stinking the way that they did,
Same.
and that was pathetic.
Yep.
And who is KCP all of a sudden?
Man, I don't know. It seems like every other, any game you could say who is KCP, who is Danny Green, who is any of those guys.
Right on, guys. So I did want to say it was a good day on overlay. I played in the $2.50 one three times, with 10-2 every single time. And one of the things I was kind of thinking about, having like lost significant run with a bunch of the Portland Trailblazers guys and other guys. Like I like the idea sometimes on this site that like what was the matchup I was thinking about? It was like LeBron and Lillard specifically. I kind of liked that like these big matchups like this, they're coming from the same game. So you don't really have to be as concerned with the blowout because they both lost run because of it. So uh, I was definitely set up to probably get that slump buster challenge. Whereas if you don't win 20 times in a row, they refund your money for you. But it's been a hot couple of days over here. I'm really digging on the NBA playoffs over here. That's why I've been entering a couple extra times and feeling really good about it. So excited to talk this one out today with you guys. The name of the website is overlaydfs.com. Go give it a whirl, and we should get a minute to talk about that one briefly as well.
Sweet.
All right, let's move into DK for the day. All right, guys, don't forget to click that thumbs up video. Subscribe to the network if you are new to it. Once again, my bad on LeBron James. That was not good. But what we can do is move on to today. Day passes are available for both baseball and basketball today. You buy it, you get both sports. Subscribe to the station. Get the write up. Looks something like this. Clearly, this is not the write up today, but it looks something like this. As Tyreek Evans hasn't been a thing in a few years.
No, that brings back some good memories though, or it brings back memories. I don't want to say good memories though.
Yeah, erratic memories, we'll say.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
All right, so we did our members only video already and wanted to talk it out through our customers. So that's available to anybody who wants a day pass or anything like that. But I think the big thing that we came up with is we like the Western Conference games over the Eastern Conference games, and we specifically like the Clippers and the Mavericks. So I don't know how closely everybody's been following along to this series, but Dallas's offense, I know like they broke records this year for offensive efficiency, but it is legit, and the Clippers are struggling to control it. We both agree that we think this will be a game, and I feel very, very safe and solid with Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs. Paul George is playoff erratic, we'll say. Patrick Beverly is very likely not going to play in this game. Kawhi hasn't done anything like to jump off your TV screen, but keeps walking into 50 plus points in the first two games. It's kind of what I expect out of him today. Harrell's still not himself. I feel very safe with Kawhi Leonard rolling back out of bed, dropping 50 to 60 DK points. I don't know if you need him because we like the mid tier overall, but I feel very safe with Kawhi as well, where my money goes today.
Yeah, he's just like rock solid. Hate to say it, love to say it, cog in the machine type, all formats. Like you mentioned, walking into 50 DK points hasn't done anything special. I like this game a lot, so wildly in play for me here.
I think after all the blowouts we've seen the last 2 days that have definitely messed with a collection of DFS plays people have used, we both tend to think this one's a game. And I have a lot of respect for what Dallas is doing right now. But I don't think the Clippers are just going to roll over and die. I think we see a battle here. I don't think it looks like the Blazers and Lakers yesterday. I think this is a close competitive game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up. So Kawhi's somebody we feel safe with in all formats. We were talking through Michael Porter Jr. I feel better with him in GPPs, but if you're into it and you like it, I have no reason you can't just run with him in cash games.
Yeah, we talked about this on the members only video, and you made this point a bunch about, especially when you've got such a limited amount of options. It's only 4 games, right? There are a bunch of good players on the slate, but it's not like a main NBA slate. Porter really showed me a lot after his first run last game. In his first run, he didn't do anything, 0 DK points. Really started to put on the show when he came back in. Finished with like 28 real points. You could see that his confidence was growing as the game, went on. They're going to need his offense. I think this game is also close, and Porter is just an emerging star, and I think that people are going to not get here today because he's in the mid-tier and they're going to want to get the studs. What's your take there?
Something similar to that. There's still no Will Barton. He left the bubble. Gary Harris seems to have no timetable for concern. And even though I think Denver's better overall when they have Barton and Harris, we like Porter Jr. We like where he's going. The defensive liability is the only concern we have him today. I saw his confidence grow. You could physically see his confidence grow throughout that game. And I think if those guys were around, I'd be concerned about his minutes. But currently, they have no option but to use him. And he is just a walking buckets. I've been using that term a lot lately. This dude is literally walking buckets. He's big, he's fast, he can shoot it, he's aggressive, he's assertive. And I'm with you. I don't think the mid-tier gets as much love. I feel like I've become a victim to that the last 2 days where I went stars and scrubs. Time to get back to what got us here, which is using the mid-tier, and I think Porter Jr. could be a part of that.
Amen.
All right, so speaking of the mid-tier, let's go right back to a guy that I liked a lot day one. Wasn't great in the opening game, and I'm talking about Lemon Pepper Lou. But now we have Beverly unlikely to play. I think the Clippers have showed, as great as their perimeter defense might be, they're struggling to stop Dallas, which means they're probably going to have to outscore them because Dallas's defense is not far from perfect. I watched all of last game, and Lemon Pepper was really good. You can see down there, I just wanted to show a clip. Only 13% owned, and that was with Beverly out last game, who I expect to be out again this one. He played 30-some minutes. He was much more aggressive, and this guy had shots rim out after rim out. He easily could have had 12-plus assists, but people kept getting fouled as they were going to the rack off of assists or just missing open shots. I think his ownership will go up this time because he's off a big game, but I still don't have a good feel of what that's going to be early in the day. I just think he fits solidly into a mid-tier build at either one of the guard positions.
Yeah, I think you could see the Clippers' second unit, namely Lou Williams and the other guy, Montrezl Harrell, play really well here. Harrell saw his minutes bump up last game, and we know that Lou and Harrell play really well together. So I think the emergence of Harrell playing well only helps Lou Williams here because that's the guy that he plays with. They're the two guys that play off each other. Even without that, he's very affordable at 50 to 600. He fits in that mid-tier build we just talked about. Good spot against Dallas. You mentioned it with Kawhi. Or no, you actually mentioned it here. They're going to need to outscore them. Well, he's a big part of that. He's how they're going to be able to outscore them.
Yeah, and don't forget, there's still very likely no Beverly. We love Montrez, but he ain't the Montrez of old right now. This guy's played 2 basketball games in 6 months, right? He's still getting back to snuff. They're going to need, and Paul George, I kind of forgot about this, but listen to people break down a lot of his playoff struggles. I'm not saying that PG couldn't have a good game today by any stretch of the imagination, but Lou Williams and Kawhi are the guys I trust to put the ball in the basket in this game.
I get it.
All right, next up, Garrett Temple. So I brought him up the other day, and it's funny because I kind of broke it down that the only thing you need out of Temple is you need his outside shots to fall. He did almost exactly the same thing in game 2 from game 1, only this time he made some of his outside shots, and which is why you saw him go from kind of an off game to a very, very solid game. Now, there's no Joe Harris today. He is going to be needed. I don't know how much I trust him, but the upside today is real.
No Joe Harris. Again, we don't know how much we trust Brooklyn here, but either way, Temple's going to play big minutes. He's had really nice usage in the bubble. Again, did we mention no Joe Harris? All of a sudden, Temple's their best three-point shooter, which is scary, but true. Him and Luau Cabarro. So, again, 5,100, priced very affordably, very reasonably here.
Even if also had him at sub 10% last game.
Yeah, exactly. So listen, even if you think Toronto rolls here, that just means you don't want to use guys like Lowry, Van Vliet, LeVert, Jared Allen. A 5,100 Garrett Temple works in all formats.
I think the other thing to be think about right here is, at what point does Toronto have to roll? This is down 2 games to nothing. We talked about Brooklyn. They are, without question, significantly less talented than Toronto right now. It's not even a fair comparison. But they have a lot of backbone, and they fight. So if you think they lose by 25 plus, by all means, don't roll with guys in the starting unit. But if you're going to give them credit to keep this game, within 10 to 15 points or even 20, Brooklyn's going to fight till the end. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's got to be a massive blowout for them just to, concede going down 3 games to none. So, 25 points with 6 minutes to go, sure, guys might start getting pulled, but it's going to have to be a massive blowout for guys in the starting unit just to be all right, guys, we're done. We're going to run with these straight up scrubs.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you.
All right, guys, that's what we got for today. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Always appreciated. We'll talk to you guys about some overlay here shortly, and then we will talk to you about baseball in a little while as well.
Mm-hmm.